Speaking of humans sucking, I saw this recent thing.
Okay.
That
What a segue.
I mean, because I looked at this and I thought, oh my god, humans suck. But there was an article that came out not too long ago. I'll just read the
article. By who's the article first?
There was a lot of different articles that came out all over the place. But I'll just read the title of this article because it explains everything.
Go for it.
Lonely Ape has just launched a dating app for NFT collectors.
A dating app.
A dating app. Somebody has developed a dating app specifically for NFT bros to date NFT hoes.
I think the problem with this is that
Everything?
there is, everything. But I'm going to take a guess here.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you reckon the demographic of people who have NFTs are?
Okay.
If this is a JoJo-esque dating app, it's going to work.
No. Let's look at this positively.
Okay, sure.
So what you're saying is we're going to be removing people with NFT profile pictures from our dating pool. I think that's a positive, right? Surely.
But that means that we're just like forcing these kinds of people to reproduce, which is forcing these people to reproduce.
Are you saying people who collect NFTs should not be allowed to reproduce?
No, I'm not saying that, but you know.
Is that what you're implying, Jake?
No.
Well, that's okay though. They go on the metaverse. It's fine. Let them
Just
have it.
just like reading through this article just made me have like several aneurysms. There is no need to enter or display personal information. Instead, one can link their crypto wallet to access the app. Once logged in, the user can display their net worth and NFT portfolio.
This is awful.
What?
You can also filter your matches by their cryptocurrency value and the NFT collection.
What?
If I had $1 for every time I saw an article about something to do with NFTs that I despised, I wouldn't need to buy anything ever again.
I was like, why did the
I'd probably own an NFT.
I'd
be rich enough to own an NFT.
I would be very wealthy. I would be very. I've not seen a single good thing with an article. It's never like NFT owners pledge to
stop global warming
to save the world. And it's like, no, it's like NFT owners pledge to have a yacht club where they all wank each other off or something. That's all it ever is. It's like the NFT restaurant thing. It's like, are you just trying to make some kind of tangible effect that you own an NFT? It's like, there's some reason.
Wait, so explain what this restaurant
You
is?
need to own an NFT to go into the restaurant.
Yeah. That's it.
It's like,
So you just go up to the bouncer and you be like,
I mean, it's getting to the point where it's just like classism with extra steps now. Actually, it's not even any extra steps. It's just.
Well, we've hated on NFTs like so many times. It sucks. It sucks.
I just saw that article and I'm like, I legitimately thought it was an Onion article at first because it sounds like one, and I realized, the sad reality, that's a real thing.
Even if they could turn around and win people back onto NFTs, which I don't think they can.
No.
I just can't see them winning the public faith back in it again now.
Yeah.
Since everyone has just seen how much of a mess it's been. And whatever you think about the technology or whatever you think about what it can be done with it, you have to recognize that the NFT, like this kind of landscape that it has become right now, is such a mess, ripe with scams, fucked up shit, money laundering, just every kind of awful thing you can imagine.
Yeah.
It has had such a bad public rep that it would not only need to come up with something revolutionary that is actually good, it would then have to win people back over by fixing its image, which I don't think it can, because the internet doesn't want to make it more regulated. It doesn't want to make it more fair.
It also just
seems like how free it is.
Yeah, it also just seems like that community doesn't really care about it either.
No, they
right?
do. They do.
Do they?
Yeah, because they push it onto everyone and everything.
Well, then how come they're not trying to do anything to better their image?
They're not,
and instead making these fucking dating apps and restaurants.
It's a free-for-all right now. Every company and every person is trying to grab a part of it's a gold rush.
Right.
Everyone wants their bit of it.
Yeah.
So the reason why everyone is shoving it down everyone's throat is because they have investments. They want to make sure they don't lose the money. Okay. Pass it on to the next sucker who comes in too late.
Yeah, and it's like it's also so weird. Did you see the clip where it was like I think Jimmy Fallon like presenting his NFT with Paris Hilton? Like
he has an NFT,
huh?
Oh,
of course he does.
It's
is it a meme at least, or is it like
no? It is serious. Okay, so I believe it's Jimmy Fallon, but Jimmy Fallon and Paris Paris Hilton, Paris Hilton was on the Jimmy Fallon show, and they started talking about NFTs and how Paris Hilton convinced Jimmy Fallon to buy a Bored Ape NFT.
What a
right?
nightmare scenario.
It was so weird because it's like I've never seen a clip of two people more out of touch with the wider world. So they like so Jimmy Fallon brings out his Bored Ape. It's Bored Ape, right? That's the name.
Yeah, Bored Ape. Yeah.
He brings out.
Yeah, the monkey is
Yeah,
Bored
Bored
Ape.
Ape, yeah.
He brings out his Bored Ape NFT, right? And he goes, he goes, isn't this beautiful? Look at this. It's amazing. And like you can hear the audience clapping.
I've seen this image. I thought it was a meme.
Really?
No. It is
I
real.
thought the image was put on the picture.
Yeah, and I've never heard such a applause where it was so obvious that there was a big light saying applause,
Yeah,
please, because you could tell the audience had no idea what the fuck they were talking about.
Another massive problem with the whole NFT landscape, right, is that it benefits the people who have big platforms.
Yes.
Right? If you have a big platform, it's free money for you. That's why people are doing this. If the moment something is advertised to you as you should buy it is the moment it's too late for you to make any money. You know, the moment that consumers are seeing big names promoting it, it's too late to make money. Yeah, some people might make money. The majority of people are not going to make money.
No.
And the majority of people are going to lose money. And the people who get money are people like Jimmy Fallon, people like any of these big influencers, people who have the platform, the power to push people towards their investment. It's a glorified pyramid scheme in many ways, right? Because it's like, how do you get your money? By getting more people into it. Right? It's that's how it works. And that's why you're seeing, like when I tweet anything or I'm mentioned in anything NFT, it doesn't matter what the comment is, these verified NFT accounts like everything with the phrase NFT in it.
Right.
They don't, I could be saying NFTs suck and they can gargle on my nuts.
Yeah.
And someone who supports NFT will like that comment just because they've Googled NFT and they like everything because they're trying to get followers. They're trying to get engagement. So then they can push it more and have a bigger sphere of influence.
What if they just like gargling on nuts?
They might gargle. They probably,
probably do.
They probably do if they like
Yes,
NFT.
please.
I hate it. I hate it so much because it's so obviously a scam. Like the moment that you are being advertised to about buying an investment is the moment you've can't make money.
And I think that's what's so fucking disappointing as well, especially with, you know, as you said, like big influencers, right? Like getting in on it. Like fucking, you know, when I saw that like Eminem bought like an NFT of just what looks like a monkey version of himself, I was like, why would you do that?
Because
never before has my childhood died so quickly,
the moment
right?
you have a big sphere of influence, it's just free money.
Exactly.
And in their eyes, it's low risk public image because you're not asking you don't have to, it's not like you're begging your followers for money. But what you're doing is making them pay for something that makes your thing more valuable.
It's heavy incentivizing.
Right. And you can claim just that it was just an investment. It's like buying a stock. It's like, no, it's not.
It's like buying a house.
It's not like buying a stock. It's different, right? There's rules around buying stocks for reasons, right?
Yeah.
Even though sometimes the rules are a bit fucked. But still.
Yeah, I mean, like
I feel very passionately about this, and I hate the system so much.
Well, I'm like the only thing I have to add to this is like, do you think this negative image is purely, based on like the Western circle and just like our perception of the internet?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Because like I've heard like NFTs have a very, very different perception in like the Japanese circles and the Japanese, especially the art communities as well, because they see it as, from what I've read at least, they have a much more positive view of NFTs, and they see it as like an opportunity to, of course, give ownership to artists and stuff like that, which is a lot. Given the cultures, I understand why maybe Japanese people would be more accepting of this idea, because it's like, for Japanese people and Japanese artists, it's a lot bigger problem than it is.
I'm all for giving rights to artists and whatnot, but I feel there are other ways that you can do it if the systems were, properly implemented. Not to mention that in Japan, like, the whole copyright laws in Japan especially are just like on the next level of outdated.
Yeah, right.
Like it's so like I think if anything, the reason why
the Japanese are gonna
of course the Japanese are gonna look at NFTs and think like, oh, this is perfect. Like this gets around everything that we've believed in and done in like a really cool way that supports artists.
Like more ways to copyright shit.
Yeah,
bring it in.
Let's please.
That requires the good faith of all parties involved, though.
Yeah,
like everyone has to be using it correctly.
Yeah.
And the problem is that
they're not.
In English, we're definitely not. At least in and there is some very valid reasons to own NFTs or Bitcoin or any of these currencies, right? Like if you're like a Russian person right now and all your money was in the ruble, yeah, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Like your money's gone.
Yeah.
Like, you don't own much money anymore. If you had that all in a Bitcoin wallet, yeah, you'd still be very wealthy, right? So that makes that in those scenarios, it makes a lot of sense. Problem is, it's kind of replicated what the fine art world was before to like the big private investors, right? It was basically fine art. It was this glorified money laundering and money transactioning thing, right?
Yeah.
And now in the West, people figured out, you can make a lot of money and money that you can hide very easily by doing this NFT shit. And so it's kind of turned into more of a democratized fine art shit for people, right? Like the whole you ever watched like Tenet? Did you watch Tenet?
Yeah, I watched Tenet.
You know, like the art that was held in the airports because it couldn't be taxed. That's actually a real thing.
I know that's a real thing. Was that a major part of Tenet?
That was a big plot point in Tenet, is where they steal the artwork and all the valuable stuff from the airport holding the tax haven in the airport.
Clearly,
right?
this movie really made an impression on Gon.
I just remember things going backwards.
Like
it's like
Tenet-
things looking
Tenet-
cool.
That's like the first time in like media that I can recall that has like told people that these things exist.
Yeah.
People didn't know these existed before. You know, it's
just was that a massive part of Tenet? I feel like I would have remembered that. Which scene was this in? Was this in the first scene? I don't remember them
I don't
ever
fucking
go.
know the full fucking playlist of Tenet. I don't know what fucking happened.
I just like
There was a big plot point about them doing a heist in the first half of the movie.
was there?
Oh my fucking
The only thing I know is that the
31's been rough.
he's basically dead.
Oh my god, he's
When he dies, like his life doesn't flash before his eyes. It's just Tenet the movie.
I remember them being in an airport, but I don't remember them
why
pulling
were
a
they in the
heist.
airport, Gant? Why were they in the airport? Well, why they were in the airport?
I remember them being in
Good
an airport.
question. Maybe they were getting a flight or something. No, they were investigating This is a complete fucking tangent right now because we're going into. They were investigating the phenomena, right? That the phenomena where time moves backwards or something. That's all I remembered ish.
I can't remember, but they're stealing something from this holding.
Because I thought,
and in the holding places, they normally have art because you can't. We can basically buy and sell in this area because it doesn't. It's not under any jurisdiction of taxpayer.
Right.
So you can.
no, I remember there being
NFTs.
I remember there being paintings there. I just don't know. I just don't remember that being like a massive part of the plot point. But
It was just like I brought it up because it was like the first time it had been addressed or like brought up in like prominent media.
Well,
these things exist.
Yeah, well, they've existed for like a very, very long time, and it's not just like fine arts, but like it's not just paintings. Any valuable thing, like
half the stuff in the British Museum. That's normally the place where they come from. You know, like the point is that I just think with the way that NFTs are structured right now, it's just this was obviously going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just been rife with scams. Like half this shit is awful. Like there's some legitimate uses. The technology seems somewhat promising right now. The fact that it uses more than like most countries, the entire like Bitcoin network uses more electricity than countries, is very concerning.
Yes.
And that there are more, they're making new coins, they're making new ways that are much more efficient and stuff. Yeah, we get it, but it's not there right now.
Yeah.
It's not doing that right now. It's not working right now in a way that works for the world.
Do you think it will ever work out?
Yeah, it definitely will at some point. Obviously, the idea of having a way that you can 100% own something digitally is going to be very convenient at some point.
Yeah.
The way you said yes was like, yeah. But right now, it just doesn't. The way that it's being used is like a joke.
No, I mean, like it's weird seeing how fast they just came from like basically nowhere to everyone talking about them. I mean, crypto.
Well, because it's been just so like it's just been shoved down everyone's throat.
Every celebrity's jumping on it.
Yeah, it was literally last year where I had not heard of the word NFT till like May or April, and then I couldn't stop hearing it. I was like, I remember being like,
I mean, I only found out what it was like a couple months ago.
On the fucking podcast.
On the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm so envious of you, Jay.